Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to do this lesson titled, His Judgments and Mercy Shall Go Forth as the Light. Because we're seeing a lot of things going on in the world right now. And, you know, it's just so many things, but people need to understand that the Lord is in control, and he's the one he's doing everything, because he said in the book of Isaiah how he forms the light and he creates a darkness. He makes peace and he creates evil. So everything, the Lord is doing everything because he's ushering in his kingdom. So that's why you're seeing all these things on the news with the war, the shootings, and it's the Lord at work. And I'm going to start with the book of Psalms, chapter 89, and I'm going to read verse 7 through 9, and it reads, Yahweh is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints, and to be had in reverence of all them that are about him. So this is the king of Israel, David, explaining how the Lord, he's the one that should be reverenced and feared. Let me read that again, verse 7. Yahweh is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints, and to be had in reverence of all them that are about him. Verse 8. O Lord Yahweh of hosts, who is a strong Lord like unto thee, or to thy faithfulness round about thee? Verse 9. Thou rulest the raging of the sea, when the waves thereof arise, thou stillest them. So he's letting it be known how he controls the sea, the waves, and the ocean, how they can't go any further than he allows them to go, and they listen to his command. I'm going to jump down to verse 11. The heavens are thine, the earth also is thine. As for the world and the fullness thereof, thou hast founded them. So he's talking about how he created the heavens, the earth, and everything in it. You know, even all the people as well, because it says that in Ezekiel chapter 18, starting at the top of the chapter, how he said, the spirit of the parent as well as the child belongeth unto me. And from there, I'm going to stay in Psalms 89. I'm going to jump down to verse 14 and 15, and it reads, Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. So the judgments, everything that's going on, when we see all this, the bad things, that's the judgments of the Lord. He said, justice and judgments are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. And he's going to have mercy on whom he chooses, like it says in Isaiah 14, how the Lord is going to have mercy on Jacob. He's going to yet choose Israel, but he's going to have mercy on whom he chooses. Verse 15, blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of thy countenance. So the ones that are being obedient, they're going to walk in the light of his countenance. This sounds like what it says in Numbers, how Moses was saying that prayer, how walking in the light of thy countenance. So this is what we want to do is be blessed and continue to be obedient to his law, statutes, and commandments. And from there, I'm going to go to the book of Isaiah. Book of Isaiah, Salakia. Yeah, that's it. Isaiah 45. I passed it. Actually, it's Isaiah 57. Verse 4 through 5, and it reads, Against whom do you sport yourselves? Against whom make ye a wide mouth, and draw out the tongue? Are ye not children of transgressions, a seed of falsehood? So he's addressing people that have lying tongues and that are drawn out with he's talking about their tongue. Let me read that again. Again, whom do you sport yourselves? Against whom make you a wide mouth and draw out the tongue? Are you not children of transgressions, a seed of falsehood? So he's talking about people that just, they like to speak, but they're speaking lies. Verse 5, inflaming yourselves with the idols under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys under the cliffs of the rocks. So he's talking about how they're in the wrong doctrine, pushing the wrong ideology. As when he talks about the green trees, that's getting into the churches and people that are pushing the wrong doctrines. And he's also saying, slaying the children in the valleys under the cliffs of the rocks. So we know that's talking about Esau, who came from the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. So it's talking about them coming out of the valleys and under the cliffs of the rocks. And from there, I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 11. And it reads, an evil man seeketh only rebellion, therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. So remember, the Lord, he loves righteousness. He wants us to be obedient to what he's actually saying in the scriptures. So if someone is just always being rebellious to what he's saying, he said a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. So when you see the news, like the shooting, the Lord used that vessel, that man, to go and shoot those people. He used that man. He was the vessel. And I don't know if they ever found him, but they were still, the last I seen, they were looking for the man. But he uses people for vessels of honor or vessels of dishonor. And from there, I'm going to go to the book of Psalms, chapter 37. And I'm going to read verse 6 through 7. And it reads, and he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. So he's going to always bring his, he's going to do what's right towards the ones that are being obedient, and the judgments are going to go forth to the wicked. Verse 7, and it reads, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. So he said, don't worry about those people that are prospering and looks like they're living lavishly and deliciously. So don't worry about them, because if they're being wicked, the Lord has got their number and he's going to deal with them. That's what he's saying. And from there, I'm going to go to the book of Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. And then I'm going to jump to verse 5. And it reads, woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. So anytime you see that woe in the scriptures, that means destruction. So let me start over. It says, destruction to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. Verse 2, she obeyed not the voice. She received not correction. She trusted not in the Lord. She drew not near to her God, Yahweh. So we know that from the beginning, Esau, he knew he got the law, statutes, and commandments through Abraham and Isaac, but he rejected it. He didn't want to do it. So let me read this from the top. Woe to her, destruction to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. This is talking about people that like to oppress people, do unrighteous decrees, make unrighteous laws. They're always doing things that they're not being just. And remember, he said in the book of Samuel that those who are in power, they must be just, ruling in the fear of Yahweh. Verse 2, she obeyed not the voice. She received not correction. She trusted not in the Lord. She drew not near to her God, Yahweh, because everyone was created from him. He made 18 nations, but he chose Israel. But everyone was made by him. Verse 5, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgments to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. But they should be ashamed of the way they're conducting themselves. But he said they have no shame. So now he's going to make it plain and clear to them when he puts a judgment on them. And from there, I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs 17. And I'm going to read verse 15 through 16. And I lost my spot. Proverbs 17, verse 15 and 16. And it reads, He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. So if somebody is in the mud, in the mire, no one should jump on their bandwagon and support them like they do in the court systems. They see these, for instance, the police that are guilty of doing things to our people, and then they set them free. So they're justifying the wicked, and then they condemn the just. He said the both of them have committed an abomination. Verse 16, Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he hath no heart to it? And so what is it good? What good is it for them to get any wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because they're not going to take it to heart. They're not going to take heed and do what the Lord said. They're just going to let it go in one ear and out the other. And from there, I'm going to go to the book of Hosea. The book of Hosea. And I'm going to verse Hosea 6, chapter 6. And I'm going to read verse 5. And it reads, Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth. And thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. So he's saying how they've heard this. They've been hewn as being like chopped down like a tree. They've heard this since the beginning of time. Everyone's heard the words of God. So he's talking through the prophet Hosea, saying how he's hewn them by the prophets. They were being chopped down. The word was cutting them to pieces. It was cutting at their spirit. He slain them by the words of his mouth. And now, because they rejected it and they were rebellious, now the judgments are going forth as the light. That's what he's saying. Now they're going to go forth. Now that everyone is getting their judgments that rejected the word. That's what he's saying. And from there, I'm going to go to the book of stay in the book of Hosea, chapter 12, and I'm going to read verse 10. And it reads, I have also spoken by the prophets. He spoke through Moses, Ezekiel, Jonah, every one of them, all through the dispensations of time. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. He was speaking in parables. He was doing it, but he made it plain. They heard it, and it went forth out through all the earth. Everyone has heard it, and they've been rejecting it all through time. So now he's saying the judgments are going forth now. And now I'm going to go back to the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, and I'm going to read verse 26, and it reads, The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. So he's saying how the people who's the righteous, the ones that the Lord chose from the foundation that are keeping the laws. He says they're more excellent than his neighbor, but the wicked seduces them because they're seeing the things that the people that are carnal in this wicked society are doing, and then they'll follow them. They get seduced by their ways. Let me read that again. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them. They're always seeing the things they're doing, and they want to jump on the bandwagon because of the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. They always want to follow. And he told us not to follow a multitude to do evil. He told us through Moses and Exodus, he told us that. Exodus 23, not to do that. So it's something and that was Hamashiach speaking. He's always spoke from the foundations of the world. That was him speaking through time. And from there, I'm going to go to the book of Lamentations, to the prophet Jeremiah. Lamentations 3. And I'm going to start at verse 22. and read to verse 26, and it reads, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not." And I want to say shalom to everyone in the chat. Shalom to anyone that's listening, that's on the live. I hope this lesson is edifying, because it was something that I wasn't planning this lesson, but the Lord put it on my spirit because the things that was going on the news. So I thought this would be appropriate to bring out. Let me start over. Lamentations 3, verse 22 to 26. And it reads, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not." He's going to have compassion on whom he chooses, like he said in Romans chapter 9, verse 23. "They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." Every time the sun comes up, he's faithful to himself. He's going to do everything he said. Verse 24, "The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him." So we got to put our trust in the one that created the heavens and the earth, Yahweh, and his son, Hamashiach, Yahushai. Verse 25, "The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him." Verse 26, "It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord." So we got to wait, like David said, wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he's going to strengthen our hearts. He said, "Wait, I say, on the Lord." He told us to do it. He said it twice. And from there, I'm going to go back to the book of Psalms 89. And I'm going to read verse 18 to 23. And it reads, "For the Lord is our defense, and the Holy One of Israel is our King." So look at and listen to that good news. That's our King. Verse 19, "Then thou spakest in the vision to thy Holy One, and saidest, I have laid help upon one that is mighty. I have exalted one chosen out of the people." Remember, that was the anointed one, Hamashiach Yahushai. But this was the king of Israel, David. And we know that Yahushai came in the volume of the book. Verse 20, "I have found David my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him." Verse 21, "With whom my hand shall be established. Mine arm also shall strengthen him." Verse 22, "The enemies, Salakia, the enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him," because he was always his shield and buckler. And that's what he'll be for us if we're being obedient. He says he'll be our shield, our buckler, our refuge, and our fortress. He'll be a very present help in a time of trouble. And let me read verse 22 to 23. "The enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him." Verse 23, "And I will beat down his foes before his face, and plague them that hate him." So he's going to take care of all the ones that hate. Then that's talking about our people. Remember, he said, "I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me." But he's going to repay the ones that hate him to his face, because he says that what you have done to those, you have done it to me. So a lot of these things that everyone is seeing is just judgments from the Lord. He said it in Galatians chapter 6, "Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." So they're reaping for everything they've sold, everything they've done to Jake. Now, and all the people that touch the apple of his eyes, they're all going to reap it. And from there, I'm going to stay in Psalms 89, and I'm going to jump down to verse 28 and read to verse 37. And it reads, "My mercy will I keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall not," Salakia, "My mercy will I keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him." That covenant's not going to change, that he made from the beginning through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Verse 29, his seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. So he's going to do what he said. He's going to, keep his oath and his promises. And then he says that all of the seed of the children and our grandchildren, they're going to be blessed, and they're going to always have this inherit the earth. That's what he's saying here. Verse 30, if his children forsake my law and walk not in my judgments. Verse 31, if they break my statutes and keep not my commandments. Verse 32, then will I visit their transgressions with the rod and their iniquity with stripes. So we know this is why our people get punished, because he gave that covenant and the law, statutes, and commandments to Jacob. So when our people go against it, they get punished with many stripes. We were punished, and that's why we went into all these captivities. Verse 33, nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him, nor suffer my faithfulness to fail. His mercies are renewed each morning, like he said through the prophet Jeremiah. Great is his faithfulness. Verse 34, my covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. So everything he said from the beginning is coming to pass. And it doesn't matter how people feel or about their emotions. It's going to go the way he said it. Verse 35, once I have sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. So he's going to, everything he said, he declares the end from the beginning, and his counsel is going to stand. Verse 36, his seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me. So he's saying how we're going to inherit. The meek, the humble is going to inherit the earth. All the ones that are pompous and arrogant and proudful, he's getting them off this place. He's removing them. That's what's going on. He's removing the wicked and the arrogant and the proud. Verse 37, it shall be established forever as the moon and as a faithful witness in heaven. Salah. So everything he said, it was a witness. This witness was, see, that's what Job was saying. He said, my record is on high and my witness is in heaven. So that witness is Yahweh. Everything he said is what it is. And I'm going to close with Psalms 119, verse 89. Psalms 119 and verse 89, and it reads, forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. So this is a done deal. Everything he said, this is what it is. It's already been written. So, I remember that song that the rap group Houdini had made, One Love, how they put that in the song, how it was already written, done and said, so we can stay 2 steps ahead. So that was in the spirit, because it's already been written. So we just have to walk ye in it. Like he said in 1 John, we have to walk in this now and be obedient to what he says. And with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Hope everyone was edified. It was just a quick lesson I wanted to just bring out because of the situation that was going on. Like I said before, this one wasn't a planned lesson. It was just something that came out in the spirit. So all praises to the Most High. Hope everyone was edified. Shalom.